The pyramid doesn't work. We've already tried it.
It's upside down.
What?
Sir, the pyramid is upside down.
Turn the pyramid upside down. You can't be serious. That would put butter and fat at the top of the damn food pyramid. Get the president on the phone. Tell him to have some steak with his bone.
Can you feel that sizzle? That's not your average feel. That's ribeye rhythm, baby. Let's move. Yeah, I don't run on bread, I don't crash from cake. My heart beats harder with a fat grilled steak. I don't do plants, I don't do grains. My flavor's primal, dancing through veins. Red meat in my core, blood on my breath, salt in my stride. I outdance death. This ain't no tofu groove, this is beast mode fire. Fuel me with flesh, take me higher and higher.
Heat moves me, can't you see? Ribeye rhythm set me free. No fake fuel, just animal heat. Now everybody back to the meat. Meat moves me, can't you see? Ribeye rhythm set me free. No fake fuel, just animal heat. Now everybody back to the meat.
Back to the meat, 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 back to the meat. This is how the strong eat. Carnivore fed, energy, clean brain, full speed ahead. No labels, no fear, no diet lies, just iron rich truth and fire in my eyes. I ain't chewing sadness, I ain't cold and weak. I'm slicing steak to the rhythm of the beat. Eggs in the morning, ribs by night. My food don't expire, it ignites.
Meat moves me, can't you see? Ribeye rhythm set me free. No fake fuel, just animal heat. Now everybody back to the meat. Meat moves me, can't you see? Ribeye rhythm set me free. No fake fuel, just animal heat. Now everybody back to the meat.
What's your fuel? Meat. What's your truth? Eat. No crash, no bloating. Eat. Just muscle motion and zero threat. Or dance, no bloating. Meat. Just muscle motion and zero threat. No crash, no bloating. Eat. Just muscle motion and zero threat.
I danced in pain, I danced through lies. I found my health in blood and thighs. The answer was simple, the world was blind, but meat made me strong and cleared my mind. I twist in pain, I danced through lies. I found my health in blood and thighs. The answer was simple, the world was blind, but meat made me strong and cleared my mind.
This is how the strong eat. This is how the strong eat. Moves me in every step, in every meal. I feel free. It's not a trend, it's ancestry. It's all fat, meat, and energy. Moves me in every step, in every meal. I feel free. It's not a trend, it's ancestry. It's all fat, meat, and energy. No move that meat, no plans, no pain. It's fat, just free, let it burn, feel the gain. No move that meat, no plans, no pain. It's fat, just free, let it burn, feel the gain. No move that meat, no plans, no pain. It's fat, just free, let it burn, feel the gain. No move that meat, no plans, no pain. This is how the strong eat.
They told us lies, but we danced right through. The truth is simple, meat moves you.
He's now turning the food pyramid of nutrition guidelines upside down. And CDC official Dr. Oz claims it's happy hour in America.
He's the least qualified health secretary that we've had in the history of the United States of America, right? And so, in my view, I can't listen to now any of the guidelines. I don't trust them, and I hate to say that as someone who worked for the government and who believed in these guidelines.
Hold on a second, Sonny. When you say RFK Jr. is the least qualified health secretary, this was your health secretary under Joe Biden, a visibly obese individual. As you see, it got other situations going on with it that is worse than the obesity, if you want the truth. But this was the VIEW approved health secretary. And this is RFK Jr., ripped FK Jr. So I would rather take health advice from this guy. And the fact that you just said you can't trust the new recommendation, rejecting advice to eat healthy and less processed food because of who said it, shows just how trapped you have become in your hatred for this administration, to the point that you're actually doing the meme. You have seen the meme. It goes like, Trump says drink water. It's good to be hydrated. In response, the left stops drinking water. You're now literally practicing the meme. And more power to you. Don't eat healthy food. Become a slob like Whoopi.
We'll be right back.
Welcome into the meat of the matter, everybody. Once in a while, there comes a time where something comes along, especially in the health and nutrition space, that rocks the planet. And the food guidelines have come out, and there is some major controversy. We've got vegans hating it. We've got carnivores hating it. We've got people all over the place claiming they know better. It's time to talk about it. We're glad that you're with us. We're going to get Mark's ideas, Peter's ideas. We're going to talk about all the stuff that's going on, all to do with the food pyramid, the food guidelines, and we're getting into it. Welcome to the meat of the matter, everybody.
Is sick and fucking tired of seeing all the carnivore shit all over these fucking...
I can't even look at a carbohydrate.
Now that I think about it, we probably would.
You know, that it doesn't make sense.
I was tired of the guessing games, faking health, playing diet names, low fat life, vegan soul, but deep inside I didn't feel whole. Then came fire, then came fat, steak on the plate, I bounced right back. No more crashing, no more drag.
You're literally treating your diet like a fucking religion.
Looking forward to talking about this recent controversy. I've already been doing it for over 2 weeks now.
Your fiber intake is fucking zero.
There is a constant in the calculation.
It is the most toxic fucking diet I have ever seen. Ever. It's not healthy. It is far from fucking healthy. Okay? It is the least fucking healthiest thing you can ever do for yourself.
And we're live. The boys are back in town. We got Peter, Mark, Tony, of course, with you. It's good to see you, all of us together. First time this year. It's first time. It's been a while. Mark's been on holidays. Peter was absent last week, but he's back. And we had to switch gears, boys. We had an idea about talking about some stuff today, but the week was wild. So some announcements came out. You know, RFK Jr. laying the hammer down, flipping that pyramid. I don't know if you guys actually read the whole 500 pages of it, but there's definitely some stuff in there that's all over the place. But we're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. And first of all, I just want a very special shout out to Byron and your family. You guys are going through some things, and all our thoughts and prayers are with you. So if anybody in the chat that knows Byron, he does our music. We appreciate him. Follow him on Carnivore Beats, and we're with you, bro. And Deborah, we wish you all the best. Just had to say that. So shout out to Byron. And boys, let's get into it. Let's just get right into it. Peter, you've lined up some stuff today. You've made a nice little clip section of some controversy. But firstly, Mark, what are your thoughts about this week? How
it's been a celebration, guys. That's the way I say it. I mean, this is going to have to be on the curriculum now. We're not going to be listening to these dietitians and these doctors advocate that red meat is a problem, saturated fat is a problem. It's in front of you now, so you can't argue with it anymore. This is what I've been loving on social media in the last couple of days. Everybody coming out with this rubbish, and it's like, listen, it's in front of you now. This is going to be part of your curriculum. This is going to be taught in schools. This is going to be taught in nutrition school now. You can't. There's no more arguing.
Yeah,
we're done. The argument is done. It really is that simple. So for me, it's not perfect. I read a good bit of it. And we'll talk a little bit about the saturated fat, and we'll talk about a little bit about the grains and stuff like that. So it's not perfect, but the most important thing is it's upside down, which we've always wanted. We've been calling this out now for years. People before we came along, this has been going on for a long time. People have been calling for this for a very long, and finally now it's happening. I believe this pyramid can actually help a lot of people. I really do believe that. People won't know how powerful this is unless you actually try it. And I've always said it. You won't understand how powerful this food that we're eating at the moment, this lifestyle that we're all on at the moment. You'll never understand how powerful it is until you're actually on it. You can't keep on convincing me that it's a fad. We're part of a cult. We're part of this conspiracy thing when you don't know anything about me. You don't know what this diet has actually done for me. You know what I mean? And you guys are the same. You guys have similar stories. So for me, it's a step in the right direction. As I said, it's not perfect, but it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Right on. Peter?
Yeah, I think about the same. I think it's not perfect, but most people will go off the graphics, I think. Many people will not even follow the recommendations anyway. And like any other previous recommendations, there are a lot of shortcomings. And yeah, we'll sure talk about this 10% saturated fat story. And I think there's a lot of inconsistencies in terms of the graphics and the text, for what I've understood from videos online, people talking about it, because I didn't read the details yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that even, but anyway, I think it's still a good thing. Also, PR-wise, they did a good job. I think the parallel with South Park, it's convenient as well. It just shakes things up, and it's all over the place. My feed on Instagram is literally showing 90% of my videos. I did a count. It's like 9 out of 10 videos shows the food triangle, and so it would drive me mad at some point. But right now, I'm still too much enjoying all the responses from especially plant-based people, doctors.
And we're going to get into it today.
I'm a registered dietitian. What do I think about the food pyramid? And the rest you can fill it in yourself.
It's
just nice to see. And all the Dr. Itzes, Terry Simpsons, and the Jacob Foods.
It's just amazing that every one of them are panicking, isn't it? Everybody's just panicking. Oh my God, this is going to ruin my reputation now. Who cares? Who cares?
They are all the guidelines, even these here, are based on useless epidemiological studies. So it's in the end, it's about the message that you're conveying. And right now, that's just very good meat on the top, and still fruit and veggies as well. I mean, try to make it accessible for people. It's reasonable to include those as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share another perspective. What I love about this is actually the controversy, is actually the shock factor, because it's gonna encourage the people to start thinking. They're gonna say, what's going on here? Why is this so different? What's up with that? And that's kind of how I got led into this. When I read Nina Teicholz, and shout out to her, by the way. Thank you, Nina, for everything that you're doing. The Big Fat Surprise, I read it. And then I started questioning things, and her Nutrition Coalition trying to get the food pyramid true, like the right people involved with it. And she's been working on this for over a decade. And I think that's going to be the catalyst for people to start thinking about it. So if you don't like it, why? Why don't you like this? If you do like it, why? So if you start thinking about wait a minute, this is so ass backwards. It's gonna encourage that conflict within yourself to start learning about this, because you can guide somebody to it. And we all know the food guidelines for the average, like Nina Teicholz even said this, like people follow it. So it's gonna jumpstart some people to start getting into asking questions. And I think obviously as far as everybody's opinions, we're never gonna get it right. Someone's always gonna have some problem with it. But I think it brings the awareness to this, which is huge. And I think that's the biggest thing. And if you're feeling passionately about this, dig into it more. That's even more reasons. And we're going to later on in the show, we'll get into some of the stuff that I think is very important, including the conflict of interest factor on what's changed about it, which is it's actually, when you look at it from that perspective, it's wild because, you know, riddled from big pharma and industrial conflicts to now it's gotten less. So that's a big win. So that's my take. So,
and can I just add one point as well? I think it's safe to say that none of us have ever pushed the carnivore lifestyle. I know personally I haven't. I've always said, okay, if you're going this direction where it's carnivore, keto, low carbohydrate, it's a step in the right direction. I think that's where we need to make that point very, very clear. Because I know for me, I have never pointed people like, okay, you have to do carnivore. Because I'm well aware there's a lot of people in the carnivore space that are eating the vegetables, they're eating the fruits, and everybody's going at these people. They're saying, listen, you're not carnivore. This is not right. You can't be doing this. At the end of the day, if this suits these people and they're happy, you cannot tell these people what they're doing right or what they're doing wrong. You just can't.
Maybe following up on that, Mark, the biggest win in this food triangle is maybe that the whole grains went to the bottom.
Yes.
So all the rest, I mean, people can choose what they want, and they can still include the whole grains even a little bit. So
and the thing about it is, like, if you want to incorporate a little bit of carbohydrate, I know Tony did a little bit over the Christmas, but he was able to get off the next day. It's like he knows what the problem is. It's like, okay, if I'm making this choice, if I'm making this choice, it's my choice.
Yeah.
Whereas we have to understand where the problem is in the first place. Everybody's insulin resistant. Everybody has chronic illness, and nobody understands. And I'm not blaming it all on sugar. I understand that seed oils also play a bigger part. In my opinion, they're probably a bigger problem than sugar. But I think it's very, very important to understand that if someone has a little bit of carbohydrate in their diet, whether it's under 50 grams or under 30 grams, you've got a little bit of vegetables, you're adding a little bit of dark chocolate in there. If it suits your lifestyle, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? For me personally, I can't do it because when I eat a little bit of sugar, it sets me off. But I'm never gonna force this onto people that I eat the carnivore diet, so you should do it. No, that's rubbish. That's absolute rubbish. You have to find what works for you. And for me, the carnivore diet works perfectly. But for Tony and Peter, it's probably different.
Well, I mean, I find with people too is leading them to the path of making the choice for themselves, which, you know, I'm all for it. In my opinion, I think it's a great place to be at when you're eating all meat. But a lot of people need to get there their own way, and just shoving it down their throat like this is the way tends to not work. But I mean, I think that's where this sort of comes into it, where, you know, we all know red meat is beautifully nutritious and amazing for you. That's starting to change. Like, just putting that up there. How many people in the world right now went, what? Eating beef? Beef at the top of, or beef being a substantial part of your diet? That's amazing. So that's a huge win. And I agree with you, Mark. I think a lot of people, you know, the carnivores that last or stay with it's not about the carnivore diet. It's about finding their way and navigating their space, trying some things, realizing they're not working. And I mean, that's the whole thing. And what we're going to get into, I think we'll surely play, because it's a little bit of a montage, but it's just all these people are speaking in absolutes. It's like, this is absolutely, or this is, you know, I am a nutritionist, and I was taught and told this is the way. Now they're telling me it's different. It's like, whoops, maybe you got taught maybe what you were taught is wrong. God forbid. You know what I mean? And that's where it's interesting to watch all this stuff unfold for sure. So Peter, do you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's have a look at some. Let's laugh at a few of the responses.
Here we go.
But we can pause it anyway at any point where we have something relevant to say, because I think it's 4 minutes, and they speak a lot of rubbish as well.
And just before we begin, just all the people in the chats, let's light it up. Anybody wants to say some things? Let's get into this. We love your thoughts and opinions, and thank you all for being here as well. And Peter, let's go.
Yeah, and we cannot avoid a little bit of South Park in the beginning, but let's go.
So Americans brought back the food. Honestly, that alone tells you everything you need to know. Because when something fails for 40 years.
The pyramid doesn't work. We've already tried it.
It's upside down.
What?
Sir, the pyramid is upside down.
Hey, so that was like a joke about something really, really stupid that we could do that would make no sense. And then we just actually did it. RFK himself posted that. He's proud of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause that right there. Do you notice how that he took it personally? Right away?
Yeah.
How dare you? This is so now I have to justify it by saying it's absolutely ridiculous.
But you know the thing is, Tony, it makes these people look stupid now.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's like everything that you've been teaching everybody is going against you now. I mean, we've been saying this now for a very, very long time. I've tried on numerous occasions to get these people on a live chat with me, and none of them would do it. But now finally the truth is coming out, and it makes these people look stupid because as I said, this is going to be on the curriculum now. They can't go against this anymore.
No.
They can't keep on convincing people that red meat is a problem, high saturated fat is the problem, cholesterol is the problem. They're going to have to reevaluate a few things now.
Yeah.
And this is where the problem is.
And
they don't
you notice how it was like it's like a paradigm shift, because most of the people that I've talked to that are sort of in the carnivore space are like, yeah, well, it's way better. You know, obviously we don't agree with all of it, but it's way better. And I noticed all the planties are like, whoa. This is wrong.
Yeah.
So now it's almost like the paradigm has shifted. They're going to have to start explaining why you should be eating beans, legumes, and starchy carbs. And the meat eaters now are going to be like, well, the food guidelines say it's awesome. It just did a wholesale change, man.
And the nice thing is that they are just helping to spread the whole message. Yeah? So it's probably 80% of videos are people complaining about the food pyramid.
And I mean, just for my practice and my clients, this is huge, because now I can say, look, oh my Lord, I
was always right.
You were always questioning me because they said that this was the way to go, and we're against it. And now it's like, okay, well, whoa, wait a minute.
And you see, that's where I've been doing this week. I haven't been messaging anybody anymore. I've just been sending them the food pyramid and saying, listen, there you go, there, right there. That's it. Case closed. You can argue all you want. There's the proof. Everybody in the world knows about this now. So basically, that's it. It's done.
And if anybody saw the pre-show, I mean, you'll see that comparison. I love that deep fake, by the way, with the view and stuff. If you haven't seen it, go back on the replay. It's wild. And he's like, look at this health thing. Now look at RFK. Regardless, whatever you have to say about RFK Jr., the man is a beast. He looks good.
Looks incredible.
Know what I mean?
Yeah. And this is another PR thing that is very good. I mean, in the end, it's about the graphics, and nobody will read the guidelines in text form.
Yeah.
And this RFK thing as well, because on social media, what you typically see is that people will follow all those gym boys, fit boys with muscles and so on. And so there is RFK there in perfect shape.
Yeah.
And what is his age?
I don't know. He's 60 something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so.
And myself and Stephen out of Carnivore community, where we were having this conversation today, we're actually looking forward to getting older now. Like, you know what I mean? We've had this conversation before, like 70s, brother. 80s. I am really looking forward to seeing what I can do now in the next 20 years.
My friend, because I just got back into the gym like just a little bit before New Year's, but I will report this later. But you guys, this is insane what's going on. I mean, if it's anything about how to hold on and be healthier, it's unbelievable. And I don't eat fucking carbohydrates, so that's pretty wild. So let's continue on. This is the first one, and anybody that want to chime in, love to hear your comments about this. Peter's had a hate on for, well, I'm not going to say hate. He's had a friend, an enemy sort of.
Yeah, I love hate relationship. I sometimes I like his videos as well. He can be a funny guy.
The new U.S. dietary guidelines are finally out of the potato chip bag.
The new food pyramid puts butter before broccoli, and that should give you some pause.
So Americans brought back the food pyramid. Honestly, that alone tells you everything you need to know. Because when something fails for 40 years, the solution is obviously rebrand it. This time, it's upside down.
The U.S. just dropped their updated dietary guidelines while I am in the middle of a very busy book tour, which was super rude. Like, really, could you not have waited? But
that says your point right there, Mark. Whoops. As you're going, preaching your beans and rice. Whoops, what happened there? That's brilliant.
And see what you said a few minutes ago, Tony, the most important thing, this is what we've been doing since day one. We're just sending out a different message. And now people are going to be looking at these and like, hang on a second, are these people right? People are actually going to question this now. People are going to be like, okay, well, I've been listening to this information for a very, very long time. Maybe the information that Mark's been giving out for the last 2 years, maybe there might be something to this.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? And that's all I want people to do. I want people to come on my feed and ask me those hard questions.
Yeah.
Because I'm well able to answer them.
Yeah.
I'm well able to answer them. I love having these conversations with these random people that I've never met in my life. And they're asking me these questions about cholesterol, about fat, about protein, about carbohydrates, carb toxicity, fat toxicity. And I'm like, bring it on.
And
the more I know about this, the more you learn about this, the better.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I was watching a David Icke interview yesterday, and it was beautiful because it relates to almost everything in the world. Ask the question why. Mm-hmm. Keep asking why until you're satisfied. It will never end. So why is this food pyramid upside down? Oh, learn the history of it. Mm-hmm. Why are they saying beef is good now? Learn the history of it. Why? Those questions will lead you to, as long as you're not a complete and utter moron, you're going to find some answers. Whatever answers it is for you, whatever truth you find, asking the questions about it will guide you to something better.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it again, but the most interesting part in this triangle, I always say triangle, by the way, because I'm a mathematician. It's 2D, it's a triangle, because it could also be a prism or whatever. But the interesting thing is the whole grains. People should start asking themselves, why are whole
is at the
grains
bottom?
disrecommended? And the rice as well. There are no other high carb sources here. And that is really the biggest health gain that you can get. If people start to eat medium or low carb, keep the vegetables, keep the olive oil, keep the whatever that's there. I think everything is sort of okay for the average person. And if you have problems with it, well, once you started to exclude the grains, then you will make the step towards thinking about all the other ingredients. That's
you notice, like I just thought of something right now, Peter, as you were talking about the triangle. If you go from the bottom, the tip, the whole grains of the triangle, and start an elimination diet, and you start eliminating layers and focusing on the stuff, when you get to another layer, start picking foods in that layer, start eliminating them, gravitate to what makes you feel better. As you go up to the top, you can start eliminating things. And I'll tell you what, when you get to the top, if you start eliminating beef and butter and that, and you keep the vegetables, where are you going to be at? You're going to feel like garbage. And that's, you know what I mean? Because the top isn't all the protein, the carrots and the broccoli, you can, and it's just interesting. It would be an interesting way to do that for sure. All right, let's keep going, boys. I love it.
I'm coming up for air, folks, because we really need to talk.
New dietary and nutritional guidelines just came out, and I'm a doctor of internal medicine and pediatrics and would love...
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
That's how all half of the video starts like this. I'm a registered dietitian and all this stuff, and then fill it in.
It's amazing, isn't it? None of us have ever done a video ever and said, "Oh, I'm a carnivore diet. I'm a carnivore coach." You know what I mean? We've never done that. We've never ever done that. Not in my lifetime have I ever said I'm a fitness coach or I'm a carnivore coach. Nobody cares.
And
nobody cares.
I can do that in the Netherlands. I can call myself a doctor because if you have a PhD, not in medicine, but then in the Netherlands you are allowed to use the title DR.
Well, there you go, Doctor. There's something that we never knew, Tony. Dr. Peter.
We're gonna call
Dr. Peter.
You're Doctor, buddy. Dr. Peter.
Sounds good.
Mathematics.
There's a good ring to that, TV, or that could get you into a lot of trouble.
When's your book coming out, Dr. Dutch Carnivore?
In a few weeks. I'm writing something, but
talk to you about
it's very small.
Many of you will say, "You're a doctor. You do not know anything about nutrition. You do not get that in school."
Because you don't.
Today, some new government dietary guidelines came out. This is great. This is where it gets a little shaky, especially for children. The vast majority of children do not need more protein. They need more fiber. So if you have...
I'm gonna come out and say that's the most ridiculous advice.
I know.
I've ever heard.
Did you watch my video I did on that? I just put
Oh
a big laugh, and I couldn't believe it.
Just,
Honest
are
to
you
God, it's like
kidding me?
it's unbelievable. I mean,
And for all-
how can you possibly say
That's
like
crazy.
this is coming from, I don't know what he's a doctor, isn't he?
I
How
don't
can
know.
you possibly
Yeah.
say that a macronutrient that is vital for the body is not needed, but we replace that with fiber?
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling.
If you don't eat one, you will
mind-boggling.
die. If you don't eat one, you will die. If you eat the other one, you might be okay. But if you don't eat the other one and the protein, you'll die. Like you need like that's ridiculous.
It's crazy. It really is. It's most completely mad.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Have a choice between giving your child a protein source or a protein shake or a fruit or a vegetable, please choose the fruit and vegetable.
Yeah, and look at how many children that went, like the infants and kids that went vegan that didn't make it because of their parents' ideology and their nonsense.
And I was only watching a documentary there during the week, and I think it's very, very important that people understand this as well. A protein is not a protein. What I mean by that is that you only need to look at the supplement market at the moment. It's worth billions. Everybody's going towards plant-based, whey protein, casein. People are spending more money on this crap instead of giving your body the right nutrition. That's what's scary. It really is. It's like these companies are making a fortune in protein bars and protein supplements and all this protein agenda, and nobody's been given the right information about protein. If anything, they're getting pushed away from protein.
Yeah, and if you just look at the bodybuilder craze and in the gym bros, a full breast of chicken has 40 grams of protein. That's your protein shake. Like this is, you know,
and it contains all the amino acids your body needs. All 9 essential amino acids your body needs.
Without the fillers and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
and without the 300 grams of carbs, because if you want to meet your daily requirements, it's like 300, 400 grams of carbohydrates.
Yeah.
And I think from plants, probably like hemp seed or something like that is probably the best protein source, sort of. But yeah, you have to extract it because it's full of fat. I mean, if you would eat it like that, it's and full of very pointy fiber if you don't remove the shell. But this shows that it's ultra processed if you
and
eat
I think Paul Saladino did something about quinoa one time, and he showed you how much quinoa you have to eat to get the amount of protein, not including all not the complete amino acid spectrum, but just the amount of protein. It's
you'll get a tablespoon of dishwashing liquid effectively with all the saponins. I mean, you can see it, the foam.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, we got good old Neil. I got this full video for us to dissect after this too.
There is a section on vegetarian and vegan diets. Glad to see that, but it could have been written by the meat industry.
See, okay.
This is brilliant. This is brilliant.
This is the irony of the meat industry in the big food, industrial complex is the smallest part of this. Holy shit. Like, this is just like, of course, it must be a meat industry conspiracy. It must be Sean Baker. Sean Baker's causing he's telling everybody. Oh, man. This is it. I love it.
Welcome again to Cooking with Frenzy, where we combine climate, compassion, and culture to bring you the hottest vegan recipes on the internet.
Many of these reviewers have been paid by Big Beef and Big Dairy. Here we have the global dairy platform, National Cattlemen's Beef Association, American Dairy Science Association.
Also in the report, plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, nuts and seeds, and soy products, they're included, but they're consistently listed after animal foods. Even though we know that plant-forward eating patterns are among the most consistently linked to better long-term health. And when
that is 100% bullshit. Like what that guy just said. That is the reason I'm not a nutritionist, because that is exactly what my nutrition school tried to tell me.
I was taught
this has everything you need. These don't. So make sure you eat more of these and not that. What? That's just ridiculousness.
Read the section on vegetarian and vegan diets. It raises a long list of nutrient concerns, but without providing a single source. Even though
Okay. If you do read the vegetarian and vegan science and you want to look at nutrition, you will find there's a big place for supplements. And if you don't do the supplements, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
You're going to be deficient in a lot of nutrients, a lot of nutrients and minerals.
Just it's funny just watching these, like when we're talking about this, I don't like, we're saying just look at the facts, look at what the nutritional content of something is, and then make a decision for yourself.
But this is what I always say to vegans. I always say, you're telling me that you're healthy, and I'll say, well, what supplements are you on at the moment? And they'll give me a list.
Yeah.
We're not talking about one or two here. We're talking about a list. And it's like, how can you tell me that I'm not healthy? I'm not taking any supplements whatsoever. I'm just eating meat and a little bit of eggs and a lot of saturated fat. And you're on a lot of supplements, and you're convincing me that you're the healthiest person here in the room.
Yeah, Mark, you
like
actually you sent a video about this, also about carnivores taking no supplements. But anyway, I think it's good to distinguish between certain supplements that virtually anybody on any diet takes, like magnesium or vitamin D and vitamin K, iodine, maybe if you don't eat the salt with iodine.
And you're right, Pierre. There's a place for this.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely a place. Sorry, Tony. There's definitely a place for this, 100%. But I think people need to understand this. Food first.
Yep.
Yes.
That's the most important thing. Food first, and then we can look at what's next.
So
you know what I mean? I think that's the most important message we have to get across here. I'm now
looking into upgrading maybe possible holes, and to fight the environment. There may be some supplements, and one day maybe we'll talk about it, but it's not, because I believe an ancestral, species-specific, appropriate diet is all you need. But the world is different now. So those foods could be compromised. Your environment is obviously compromised with toxins and things. So there may be some holes for supplementing or, getting a little bit of a boost. But you're right, Mark. Like, that's 100%. We should be getting all the stuff we need from our food. That's just the best way to start.
I think maybe that's one thing I would like to add here, is that there might be another reason to take supplements, and that is the idea that an ancestral diet is perfect, but also 10,000, 100,000 years ago, you would be in circumstances, depending on season, environment, and so on, that your nutrition profile would not be complete. Yeah. And nowadays, we have the luxury, if you don't get the best quality of food, or even if you get good quality of food and you want to fine-tune things, well, who knows, maybe you can find some supplements that are useful for...
And I will say this, when you start becoming true to yourself, using intuition and feeling the difference in your diet, these supplements make a difference. You can feel the difference. If you're just throwing everything at it, you're just hoping for and you don't really notice. And I think that's a very big, powerful tool that I know so well, obviously through the carnivore community and the people that we talk to. A lot of people are riding intuition. And if you're going to try something, including carbohydrates, you'll feel the difference. Some people will not feel good and they'll make the choice. Others, it may give them a boost. But when you're kind of getting back to a 0 point, it makes sense to try things. It does. And I mean, we can all argue and disagree with certain things, but food first is pretty much one of them that I find, especially in the ancestral carnivore space, the animal-based space, that's just a great place to start. Food first.
I was thinking, just one thing that pops up in my mind now. Do they talk about percentages, obligatory percentages that you have to eat? Like, you have to eat this many fruits and vegetables, or is it like more facultative, and does it give room for things like keto carnivore? I mean, I didn't read the text form, but
well, that's actually a good point, Peter, because I often say, like, to my new carnivores that are coming over, it's like, you're in uncharted territory. All these guidelines, all these blood tests, all these things are based around something that we've never done before. So that changes everything, right? Like the RDAs are a best guess. They just know they want to prevent a deficiency and they want to stop a toxicity. And other than that, it's pretty much you need this much every day. You need this much, but everything changes when your body's optimal and it's running properly. It's a different ballgame, right? So, I mean, I stopped. I'm aware of the RDAs. I'm aware of the upper tolerable limits, but I don't really follow that because it's once we talked about, like Mark, our symptoms. If you feel good, you're probably doing something right.
That's the most important thing. The most important thing is how you feel. I was only speaking to Byron about this earlier on. As we know, his wife is not going through it. She's going through a rough time at the moment. And he was talking about is the ketone meter and we should be focusing on this. And I'm like, no, we can focus on this. This is a tool.
Yeah.
But I would rather focus on how does she actually feel.
Yes.
So if she's coming back to me and she's eating the way she should be eating, and we're focusing on a few things and we're improving a few things more our lifestyle, and she's getting back to me and saying that, Mark, I feel great.
Yeah.
Like that's all the information that I need.
Yeah.
And I mean, even diabetics can do that at some point. Once they are sort of well settled in terms of blood glucose, you should look first at how you are feeling. And if you go like 0.5 or 1 millimole up in average blood glucose, that's not so much of a point. Because if you feel better and it's still decent range that you are in, then it's fine.
And I think that's extremely important because we're seeing this at the moment. Everybody who's in the carnivore space at the moment, they're going to get their blood work done. They're seeing a number going up, and all of a sudden they're panicking. Oh my God, I'm struggling with this. Even Dr. Kiltz. Now I have nothing against Dr. Kiltz whatsoever. I've spoken to the man on many, many occasions. He's a lovely man. I've learned so much from him over the years. But for me personally, if I'm feeling absolutely fantastic, amazing, and I go and get my blood work done, and I see a number that's out of place, I'm not going to be worried about it.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, hang on a second. Like, why should I worry about that when I feel good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's where it comes down to. It's like these are just numbers.
Yeah.
You have to go off basic science here, and you have to go off how you feel.
And
it doesn't get any better than that.
If you just look at the reason why you would have gone to the doctor 50 years ago would be when a symptom presented itself, or when something was going on that you knew something wasn't right and you wanted to get something checked. You don't just all of a sudden feel amazing and then just go, oh shit, I must be dying fast.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's continue on, boys.
The report does cite data elsewhere.
For people with chronic diseases, they're recommending a low-carb diet. What is this?
Shocking. Wow.
What is this?
God. Look at that face right there, Neil Barnard. You're gaunt. I'm not going to get into how I feel about him, but anyway, it's just like, go figure, hey? It might be the best thing you've ever done, would never come out of those lips, right?
Exactly. Yes, you got it.
1950 science? I don't think so. So low-carb diets.
Wait a second. Don't all vegans say that there's no data and no science behind low carb and all that stuff? So if there's 1950 science, what are they saying here? Like, that's interesting.
And the 1950, I mean, I think about Ansel Keys and all those people.
I would trust the people that were around in the 1950s. Just look at what they look like in the.
I think he meant to refer to like the early 20th century. Yeah. And then he would be right in certain way. But.
And can I just point out as well? I think it's important that we're not having a go at these people. Like, even though we're laughing at these people at the moment, I would love just to get on a call with these people. Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing.
Well, Mark,
we all want people to be healthy. We all want people to feel good. And we should all just work together.
Yeah.
But this is why I don't like this divide.
Well, that's the thing.
So when I come across as aggressive to people, I'm only doing that because you're telling me, you're putting all this shit on me, and I'm like, I'm not having that. I'm gonna fight back. Whereas why don't we not just jump on a call? Let's have a live chat and let's try and solve a solution together. What's wrong with that? Like, seriously, what is wrong with that? I just don't understand why there's this massive divide. We all want the same thing. We just all want people to be healthy. We don't want people to be metabolically damaged.
And And that's exactly right, Mark, because like, when you start putting down, like when you say, okay, this is what I do, this is what I've seen, this is what is possible. Then someone comes along and says, well, no, I'm a doctor and I know. That's it.
They just shut you down. Yeah, they just shut you down straight away. They don't even listen to you. That's what really annoys me. It's like, why would I listen to you? You're just some influencer on social media. So you're saying to me, I can't have an opinion. I have to go by your advice. The advice that we've been listening to for the last 50 years, and it continues to fail people. So it's like you're failing people, and I'm just telling you a different side of the story, and you're not even prepared to listen to me. That's what really frustrates me.
And if you look at like, our friend of the show, Dave Reed, Fuzzy D, we love you, buddy. He's going through some recovery and a neck surgery, but his turnaround with his life, with his weight, with his myasthenia gravis, with his autoimmune stuff. How the earmuffs, everybody. How the fuck are you going to tell him that he's doing something wrong? Like this guy couldn't get out of his fucking chair, and now he is. So Neil Barnard comes along and says, well, that's not good for you. That's ridiculous. And that's just brutal. But that's where we're at, right? That's where we're at. So let's keep going.
Are not the way to go. That needs to be fixed. Let's consider these new dietary guidelines a first draft, and if we can get the meat and dairy out of them, they'll be better. The new administration.
And you notice how he had to say it, hey? He had to, let's just get the meat. You know what, Neil? Let's just all go vegan because it's better for the planet. It's just better.
Nope. So what's the nice thing is that a new administration comes in, what is it, 3 years now, 2.5 years? But they cannot bring out a new food pyramid every 4 years because typically you do it every 10, 15 years or so. So
every 5 years.
I think we're safe.
Yeah, every 5 years. So we got 5 years to hammer it home, boys. Like it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
Can do that.
Yeah, you love that, Mark.
And they largely ignore findings from observational research. They state,
oh, here we go, Mr. Science, Dr. Nagra. He's getting a little swollen, doesn't he? Look a little bloated. He used to be.
He looks like he's had to put on a bit of weight as well.
Yeah. All right. Well done, Neil. Yeah. He's sneaking in an egg or two. That's what he's doing.
There are too many flaws with observational research to inform recommendations. But then they continuously cited observational research linking ultra-processed foods to harm. So why the double standard? But funny enough, in the end, they actually kept the recommendation to limit saturated fat to 10% of calories.
Okay, you know what? I have something to say about this.
Yeah, I think this is important because I think this is what I didn't like about the food pyramid.
It's actually, if you look at it from the perspective, it's kind of a trick too, because people think only saturated fat is in meat. That's not true.
Yeah.
So when you break down the percentages of actually saturated fat in animal fat, it's kind of like, so it's a little bit of like I don't know. It's not very technical. It's very general, but at the same time, you can spin it the way you like it. Well, they don't know, but if you actually look at the fat breakdown of beef fat, tallow, you'll find that it's not all saturated fat because that's what they promote. All animal fat is saturated fat. It's bad, and it's not true.
And then we need to focus on the energy. This is where people are getting confused. People are absolutely convinced that we get our energy from carbohydrates.
Yeah.
But this is why we've always said, this is why Atkins was never popular, because if you're taking energy away and you're only focusing on protein on its own, you're not going to get a lot of energy from eating protein. So you have to replace that energy from carbohydrates, and you have to replace it with good fats.
Yeah.
So again, you need to be adding in more saturated. We can look at the olive oil. I know there's a lot of people that argue the case about olive oil. I know Ken Bray speaks a lot about this, but you need to replace that energy with good fats.
Yeah.
That's why when I looked at the pyramid and I read through the document and I was like, okay, why are we only eating 10% saturated fats? Yeah. So you're telling me that I can only eat a small amount of fat. So where do I get the rest of my energy from?
Yeah,
so you're telling me that I need to add in the grains.
In my non-doctor, non-science opinion, you should be looking at the quality of the nutrients that the fat is bringing to the table, and you'll find that most of the saturated fat sources are very vitamin rich. Exactly. Most of the vegetable sources are not. So even the what's it called, the seed oils that claim or the flaxseed oil that are saying it's high in omega-3s, it's one kind of omega-3. I can't remember if it's the EPA or the DHA, but it also has to be converted in your body. So you know what I mean? You might as well eat some bloody fish. So it's just, and that's where the arguments. But it's interesting how they picked this out. They got to say, well, we're happy.
There's so I'm not sure if you talked about a trick in this video or in the food guidelines, because I personally think actually that they also did a trick there, saying 10% saturated fat only in the text form of the guidelines, because that would be way too difficult to get people accepted, like 20 or 30%.
Yeah.
But people will still see the graphics, and most people will not think about percentages of fat or carbohydrates. They will eat visually how the triangle looks like, and they will eat a lot of meat.
Yeah,
which is true, of course. Meat only contains like maybe 40% saturated fat or so. It's not the majority anyway. But I think this is really a good thing that this is a strategic thing to get
once again,
accepted.
Peter, what you just said, like sort of like what I was saying earlier about why. If butter's up there and you're like, what? Why is butter up there? You start digging into what butter actually is and does, and it's all of a sudden it's just proof is in the pudding, man. It's there.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, people are going towards the carnivore diet, the carnivore lifestyle. They heal their body. Now, if it was down to just protein on its own, then we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be, because we've been eating this way for centuries. We've been eating a lot of protein. We've done the high protein diets. The bodybuilders are doing the high protein diets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you look at, I've said this before. I know many people in the bodybuilding space that are in a really, really bad way with their health. They're type 2 diabetics. They have issues with their liver. They're in a really, really bad way, and it's because the diet's poor.
Yeah,
they're going from a carbohydrate lifestyle. Then they're eating just protein and very, very little amount of fat. They're adding fiber in. They're not adding any fat whatsoever. I had this conversation with a bodybuilder like 6 years ago when I stepped on stage. These guys were taking fish oil out of their diet literally before they stepped on stage. And these people are walking around like zombies.
Brain food. That's just a sign right there.
They couldn't function. They were literally walking around like zombies, and they had no energy to move.
Yeah.
None.
And just sort of sorry, Mark, to cut you off. I just want to get back to this video. I want to mention something too. This Dr. Nagra, I remember the first time I saw him debate Anthony Chaffee. He's about debating tactics and very, very psychological, kind of one of those people that floods the bullshit with straw men, floods the bullshit with a lot of facts, and he's very intelligent. But he's often like, maybe he's too smart for his own good. I don't know. I mean, he's from Vancouver, which is sad. he's probably down the street right now, not listening to us. But anyway, it's interesting his spin on things, because he was like, and when I was like, you're ridiculous, was when he said he was trying to convince Anthony Chaffee that, the plant-based diets are better because supplements are better now. And wouldn't it make sense if supplements were better now to take them instead of eating the foods? And it's like, that logic is so, it sounds right, but it's so flawed. And that's what he does. He uses these spins and tricks. And I've noticed this with him. So let's continue on.
Recommending consuming foods that are very rich in saturated fat, making their own recommendations very hard to follow. Now for the comical. They state that the American public deserves dietary guidance free from conflicts of interest, but then half of the authors have explicit meat or dairy conflicts. And it could be.
We're going to get into that in a little bit. I've got into, and we'll test that fact check, Dr. Nagra.
Argued that a number of the others have ideological biases towards animal foods.
But here's the thing. If you really want something that's good to eat, look at the Mediterranean diet with 70 years of great data. And yeah, saturated fat isn't that great for you, and having more than 5.
Why don't you expand the Mediterranean diet to the global diet that was present 250, 300 years ago that everybody ate, and then we don't have to regionalize this, Simpson.
5% of your caloric intake is not what the heart.
What I also hate about this, he is always referring to the Mediterranean, the Mediterranean diet, and that's like referring to the carnivore diet.
Yeah,
but this is worse because a Mediterranean diet is simply based on a score system, and it includes like a score that goes down if you drink more alcohol. Smoking is included in it. So what is it? It's basically full of confounders, and it tells you like you get a better score if you have a healthy diet and lifestyle.
And also, I don't know about you, but Morocco's on the med. Greece is on the med.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Wow, their diets are so similar.
No, okay, but sure, but I'm able to accept the name, but the fact that there is a score system behind it is just that's a research trick, basically.
No doubt, no doubt.
Association recommends. But if you want to listen to those fancy carnivore types who think they know better than all of the rest of the biologists, go ahead. The problem is this was supposed to be something that had input from scientists, epidemiologists, nutritionists, people who actually understood the literature, not people who...
Oh, so there you go. The people that actually have a difference of an opinion from you are wrong. And everybody that you agree with is right, including where the money is coming from. Well
this
done.
is 100% Terry Simpson. If you comment something under his video, you'll get a response like this, appeal to authority, and you are just dumb and know nothing about science. And if you respond again, you might get some semi-content, and then he blocks you.
I've done it a few times, Peter. I've done it a few times, and he sends me a private DM, and no word of a lie, you want to see the size of this DM.
Oh well,
it's like oh my god, and it's like, do you honestly think I'm going to read all this? I couldn't care less.
I've got a message for Terry Simpson. Hey Terry, why don't you give me a call and we'll handle that rosacea you got going on there, buddy. So, just saying.
Who say, I think this is better for you. Because from all the data, it's not.
If there's a silver lining in all of this, most people don't actually follow the guidelines, but they do, unfortunately.
Okay. Now, buddy, right? So you're stupid if you follow the guidelines, right? Like, so basically he's calling you stupid no matter what, because now you just reversed it on yourself there, Nags.
But let's go through the guidelines, right? Let's just automatically assume that everybody is following the guidelines. What is the information that we're told to do on a daily basis, right? 50% of your overall intake should come from grains and carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Can we all agree on that? Yeah. That's what we're told, right?
The food pyramid was the old.
Everybody should prioritize protein. Yeah. So again, they got something right there. But this is what I just don't understand. Instead of eliminating processed food altogether, you can eat this in moderation.
Yeah.
There's no problem with it. You can have as long as you follow an 80-20 rule where 80% of your overall food intake is healthy, you can have the odd treat every single day. Like, how does it make sense? Convince me why eating shit every day in moderation is fine. And then you also need to understand this. Convince me, and you need to explain to me why people need to eat consistently throughout the day, because this is where this just drives me mad. Because when you see an obese person, this is the information. These people just eat way too much, but they don't go into detail why these people are eating too much. They haven't got a fucking clue.
It's discipline, buddy.
They haven't got a clue. It's like it's all in your head.
Yeah.
You just need to be on a calorie deficit. You're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
It's just like, stop. Please just stop. It's not working. You know it's not working. If it was working, we wouldn't be having these conversations.
But on this point, we found a common ground, I think, with 80-90% of all people that are watching this, looking and analyzing this food pyramid, except maybe those people that are indeed like hyper focused on calorie counting and the gym bros that always want to prove that it's just in the calories. But I think most other people's, even in the plant-based community, they almost all videos started with like, oh, this and this is good, eat real food, and it's a big improvement, right? That compared to previous things, that the bread being on in the bottom and the processed food being completely eliminated. That's just good.
And see, the thing is, like, I get where people are coming from when we look at the calorie model. Obviously, you have to have something to go by, but you need to understand that a calorie is not just a calorie. So you cannot convince me that if you're eating like 500 calories coming from steak, it's going to be the same as eating 500 calories of eating wherever you want on the Mediterranean diet or whatever. It's not the same. It's going to impact the body completely differently. Why is it that people on carnivore, it's so easy to undereat on carnivore, but if you're on a standard diet, it's nuts because people are always hungry. Like, explain that to me. Like, I have people coming to me all the time saying to me, I can't finish 7 eggs for my breakfast. Like, and when you break it down calorie wise, 7 eggs is what? Probably around 500 calories, probably something like that. If we're going by calories, it's around 450. Yeah.
70 something.
Now, if you say to someone, eat a bowl of cereal,
yeah,
which is roughly double the amount, probably 3 times the amount, they're going to put this away very, very easily.
Yeah.
So it's the hormonal effect it has on the body. So, like I said, we're not saying that calories don't matter. You have to have some sort of metric to look at. But we need to focus on macros here. Yeah. We need to focus on nutrition here, proper nutrition.
No doubt. No doubt. Where were we at, Peter? I think I've
No, it was the end. So
that was the
Matthew
end?
is saying one more word, but it's
okay.
the same message.
So now I want to see like what we've been talking about. I'm going to play this little clip about because we said the vegans they're losing their minds. Pay attention to the first thing out of this vegan's mouth. And I don't know really who she is. I just sort of did a little search and
kill a lot of people. This is going to kill a lot of people. This is going to kill a lot of people.
Now, well, let's.
In case you missed it, RFK just dropped the new food pyramid and food guidelines. Please do not follow this. Please. While I agree with Maha and
but do you though?
this whole movement that's happening right now, that you do need to eat more whole foods and limit processed foods and sugar intake, I don't agree that you should be consuming any kind of meat, dairy, eggs, none of it. Red meat is a group 2 carcinogen, meaning.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's pretty.
It's bold. Scary, isn't it?
It causes cancer. Scary. And this man put it at the top of the pyramid, telling people they should consume red meat to be healthy.
Anybody in the comments like to see how, if we've got any carnivores that are chatting there, think that how you feel about that?
Government should be looking out for its people. Instead, it's telling its people to eat stuff that is going to cause disease.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, Brian, this is not AI. This is not a deep fake. This is a true Maggie eats vegan.
Heart disease, cancers, diabetes, etc. Vegetables, fruits, whole grains, a little bit of oil, plant-based proteins.
Yeah, right? She just said it there. Plant-based proteins, better than the real thing, right?
That's what you should be consuming. And no surprise, when you do a little digging, this is tied to the meat and dairy industry. Just another piece of propaganda marketing material from the big.
So she's calling it propaganda. Have you ever watched a Kellogg's cereal commercial? Like, have you ever seen anybody like just promoting Coca-Cola? What do you think this is? It's all propaganda, honey. It's all propaganda. And when we look at where the money comes from, it ain't the cattle ranchers.
Big dairy and big meat industry in the U.S. People involved in.
Actually, it's from a man who's got a really good handle on his health and was trying to raise awareness to this. Who's I'm assuming she probably wouldn't be able to do many pull-ups. Well, I'll tell you what, RFK Jr. sure can. And who are you going to listen to?
Making this new food pyramid work for those industries.
Yeah. So
it's true anyway. Behind every food guideline, you can always argue that there is like conflicts of interest, and here maybe as well. But that's in the end, it's mostly ideology. That also Neil Barnard mentioned. I mean,
of course,
it's there, of course. But
and you mentioned something to be true. So this is another thing that not a lot of people are understanding. And Dr. Nagra said something about conflicts of interest. Well, from what I've learned over the years, especially with reading the book My Big Fat Surprise and listening to lectures that Nina Teicholz has done, riddled with conflict of interest with the dietary guidelines. People that don't need to be there, they're actually big food. So I asked ChatGPT to kind of cross-reference the conflicts and see what's going on. And this is what it came up with. So if you look at the last guidelines that came out in 2020, official disclosures, not public per individual, because they, it's got 95% of the members had conflicts of interest with industry, food and pharma. Reports claim, and this is in 2025, approximately 9 members had medium to high risk conflicts of interest. That is huge. That is a big swing in who should be saying what. Now, I don't know exactly how true this is. I didn't take the time to go really, really deep into all of it. I just know if we're going approximately 9 compared to all of them, that's a very big step in the right direction.
Yeah.
So, there's always going to be conflicts of interest.
Yeah, and it's a bit like complaining about conflicts of interest when there is either a left or a right government, right? I mean, there's always difference of ideology and where they want to go to, and obviously this government and the people behind this, I mean, in the administration are more towards the animal-based and carnivore thing, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I would encourage everybody. Thanks, Lambs. I would encourage everybody, if you have a question about that stuff, do the research for it. Because I was like, the two things I stood out for me was the saturated fat and people bitching about the conflicts of interest. And it's like, when you actually look into it and see where it goes, you can see for yourself. I mean, the whole thing, there was I think Food Lies with Brian Sanders. I think he had a guy who was on the board that was one of the good guys that was trying to be objective, and he was ridiculed. Like, he was like, shut up and sit in the corner. You get no say in this. Like, it's unbelievable. He's just saying, well, hold on, maybe meat's not that bad. No, shut up. You're not. Who are you? Who are you? Like, you're not part of the club. Get out of here. And it's interesting how that works. And that's the one thing that everybody. It's funny how this data, when it suits you, it becomes okay to say it. But when it doesn't suit you, you kind of have a problem.
Yeah.
And I mean,
they always complain that carnivores are talking about this, and now they are doing it themselves, indeed.
Yeah.
But another thing is that if this table that you showed is true, Tony, then it sort of confirms my ideas, at least, that most of the conflicts of interest in industry is in the plant-based industry, because that's where you can actually make a lot of profit. Buy cheap grains in bulk, also transported from who knows where, and make cheap products in carton packages and sell it.
Yeah.
And meat, of course, there's no doubt there's also influence from meat and dairy industry. But my guess is that it's not that big as plant-based and grain-based industry.
No. And you just have to look at the hate on they have for, like, around the world now, guys. Like, I know in Europe, the farmers are getting pissed.
Oh,
I know it's not just the grain farmers. They're getting robbed too. But it's all.
Have you heard about what's happening in my country with the Mercosur? It's going all over Europe. The Mercosur deal. Have you heard about that?
No.
So basically, they signed. They're looking at signing. Have you heard about this, Peter?
Yeah, they can do a cheap import of meat also from
Argentina. I have actually, yeah.
Yeah, and they brought in meats there. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and there was hormones and shit all over these meats, and there was backlash over it. Huge backlash over it.
There's a big thing in Paris going on right now with.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
They're saying that they're bringing in all this meat from other places, and it doesn't make any sense. I have to do it because of the budget that I'm on. And the beef prices in Canada are holy shit, like it's unreal. I have a friend, Fleur and I have a friend, it's Fleur's best friend, living in Mexico right now, eating ribeyes for $5.
Wow.
And the same steak here is $50. Like, it's just ridiculous. We can get meat imported from Australia and New Zealand cheaper than we can getting Canada. BC.
Well, I can tell you right now, it's cheaper to buy ribeye in this country than it is in America, because I was in America over the Christmas. I can tell you right now, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
Like, I was buying ribeye over there for like $50-$60, and I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. Yeah. This is crazy. How can people live like this? And even ground beef over there was very expensive. Couldn't believe it. Yeah. Ground beef, like, you're talking about like a pound of ground beef, and I was paying nearly $30-$40 for it. It was
incredible. So now, Mark, imagine Canada, because our dollar's shit compared to, like, it's crazy what's going on right now in North America with especially beef prices. And people argue, they're like, how can you afford this? I don't eat other shit, man. I don't have to have my banana breads and my muffins and my fries and my shit. It's actually still way more cost efficient for me and Fleur to eat once or twice a day and eat only meat. It's still cheaper. So
where does your meat come from, Tony? Is it Canadian or also much from the US?
I try to buy as local as I can. Like, we've got a butcher shop that's local. Like, they're really, really good about sourcing out local farms, and it's literally across the street from us. They're a little bit more expensive, and we try to support them as much as we can. I try and buy a half a cow from a BC farm once a year. I mean, I've been starting to get to know them differently. But I mean, when it comes down to actually affordability, luckily we have this place that imports New Zealand beef, and the prices are good. Like, they're cheap. We buy big chunks of, like, ribeyes and sirloins and strip loins. And once you cut it up into steaks, it is hands down cheaper than going to a supermarket to buy a steak.
And not only that, because I had this conversation with somebody during the week. Somebody during the week messaged me, and they were moaning and giving out that the carnivore diet is not cheap, and they were like, I can't afford protein, and I'm like, well, hang on a second, because I know this, because years ago I've never been in this fortunate position that I'm in at the moment where I can afford my food. But I can tell you right now, 6 years ago, I said this to Peter a couple of weeks ago, I was living off sardines, I was living off eggs, and I was living off ground beef. They were my 3 staple foods for around 6 months. And I was spending around 70 quid a week. And that was a week's supply of food. That was a week's supply of food. Now, I was always full, I was satisfied, and I was still making progress in the gym. So you cannot convince me that regardless of your situation, you cannot afford it. You can afford it very, very easy. You can easily make this shit work. You really can. There's no excuses. Just because you see people on social media eating ribeyes all the time. Okay, they're probably because they live a lavish lifestyle. But you can definitely make it work.
And I know RFK has been sort of getting our public enemy number one, Bill Gates, sort of putting him on blast about the lab meat. But unfortunately, and we'll probably do an episode in the future about this, because I watched an interesting documentary on manufactured consent. And it's, Mark, what they're going to go after is all the people that can't afford to eat quality. They're going to make it so affordable for not quality, fake bullshit. And what they did in Canada was a big trick. They got people aware and pissed off that they were going to try and substitute lab meat for real meat. But all they did was let people be okay with identifying lab meat. It's not okay. But now we're going to, it's this psychological warfare that goes on. And it's clear they don't want cattle, farmers, ranchers, and that nourishing the public, which is, we can go way off the rails with this one. But it's very, very scary what's going on. And it just ties into, if you look at gram for gram nutrition, spend what you can afford for quality. That's kind of it. And I mean,
100%. Yeah. If you have the money, like Tony mentioned, you can easily make it work. Put it into proper nutrition, because that proper nutrition is going to keep you going a lot longer than the food that you're currently eating at the moment. Because the food that you're eating at the moment, it's designed for you to keep coming back and buying it over and over and over again. It's designed for addiction. You want to shut that off. You want to be in control of your hunger. Just eat proper food. That's all you need to do. It's not rocket science, guys.
And that's kind of where the food pyramid wins, is because, if they're bringing awareness to this, that is good. Like, that's a good thing, like these companies know that. And if you're just focusing on the best quality food you can afford, and realizing the first problem is most of the shit that they're selling is not food. That's the great place to start. If it's in the center aisle, a box package, it's probably not real. And it's been adulterated in some way, for sure. All right, boys, where are we going to next, Peter? We got a couple clips down there.
I got a clip about a type 1 diabetic influencer.
Okay.
And it nicely illustrates what's happening a lot with carnivore people recently. She didn't go carnivore very long, maybe 1 or 2 months, and maybe not full carnivore. But what you see a lot is that people try carnivore diet, sometimes even for 3 or 4 years. And for some reason, when they get off the diet and they reintroduce carbs, especially if they reintroduce a lot of carbohydrates, they turn totally against the carnivore diet. So I've seen a person that's not this person in the video, but a person, a type 1 diabetic, that 4 years ago went carnivore, keto, following ideas in diabetic communities. So not like following extreme carnivore ideas from gym bros and all these things, but really more scientific and reasonable way of looking at it.
Yeah.
And this guy was having interviews all over the place, being very reasonable, explaining all kinds of details, how it helped him and so on and so on. Now he stopped and he's eating 500 grams of carbohydrates. So what happened
modest amount
is that he went into fitness. He lost a lot of weight going on carnivore, but then he went going on fitness, and people start to exaggerate and overtrain, and then they get into troubles, and then they think it's the carnivore diet, and they reintroduce carbs, and it helps for sure. And this guy did the same, and then he increases carbs up to 500 grams a day. That's insane for a type 1 diabetic, and somehow he still manages to get an A1C around 5%. So that sounds good. I don't know about his continuous glucose values, but this guy now thinks, of course, he's totally into fitness, things like, oh, I can have the best gains by adding the carbs and steroids probably, and then all these things.
But see, that's the thing. When you retain all this muscle, your muscle is able to absorb all this glucose.
Well, that's why he still has a good A1C.
And when you're training regularly, like if you're training 7 days a week, this is where you can kind of get away with it, so to speak. So you can become insulin sensitive. This is what really frustrates me about the fitness industry. We know you can become insulin sensitive by building muscle, but the main root of the problem is still fucking there. Yeah. It's coming from the carbohydrates. So would it not be better? It's like when people say, okay, you have your insulin resistance, so just add in fiber. This will cover the problem. Yeah. No, why don't you not just remove the fucking problem in the first place?
Yeah. And it's not to mention
what you see is that they use a lot of insulin. There's another influencer also eating a lot of carbs, doing a lot of training, and he injects like 10, 12 units of insulin for a simple meal. Yeah. That's half my daily dose. But it shows that you're hyperinsulinemic. You're still glycating your cells. I mean, maybe not.
And you're still destroying your gut.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but they probably don't have acute gut problems because they talk about that it's sort of fine. I mean, you can be lucky.
Cumulative, right? Like leaky gut doesn't happen overnight, right? And it's crazy.
But it's probably at the level that apparently they deal with it. I mean, the guy is not, this guy is not running around bloated.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe in 10 years that's totally different.
No, but isn't it always the same that when you see a bodybuilder and they come out of their season where they got stripped, they lost all the body fat, but then the minute they go into the off season, the one thing you notice is the gut. The gut. You ever notice that? Yeah. The belly swirls. You can see it. It's like it's getting bigger. And apparently, according to them, I'm in a bulking season. This is what you'll hear. I'm in a bulking season. No, you're not. You're getting fat and you're putting on a lot of water retention. There's a big difference.
Mark, this is exactly the reason why I started carnivore, or maybe not the reason, but that's how I discovered low carb and Dr. Bernstein. I was cycling a lot, really a lot, and then the off season comes in September, October, and I basically got type 2 diabetic, and so frustrated that I couldn't manage my blood sugars values. But this guy here, the guy that is doing a lot of fitness and 500 grams a day, he's still fine. But yeah, indeed, if he stops, it's going to be disaster.
Yeah.
And see, this is what's important, Peter, because this is what people need to understand. Not everybody is going to be the same as this guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're going to have type 1s that are sitting at a desk all day. And they're gonna be like, okay, well, why am I gaining weight and he's not gaining weight? He's putting a lot of pressure on me to eat carbohydrates, and he's telling me that I should go to the gym every single day. I can't do that. So this is where people fall down. It's like, okay, well, what do I do? So he's telling me not to cut out the carbohydrates. He's telling me to eat the carbohydrates. You know, I mean, if I want to inject myself with more insulin, I need to eat more carbohydrates. You see where I'm going here? It's the wrong information. Just because it works perfectly for this person over here, you are completely different. You're completely different. So don't be going off people off social. That's why I said at the very, very beginning, I'm a big advocate of the carnivore diet. But I will never say to everyone, this is what you should need to do. You need to find out what works best for your body.
Yeah.
And that's it. I think that's important.
And I mean, I agree, Mark. I teach people tools. Teach people tools and in situations and awareness, and that mindset changes as you go. You get more better at being yourself. And that's a huge thing.
Yeah, and this guy, I don't have videos of him, and I'm also not going to display comments or mention his name, but this guy, from being really reasonable and relaxed, well, this is a typical thing that you see once you introduce a lot of carbohydrates, and I don't know about his nutrition status in terms of micronutrients and so on, but this guy has become really impossible to converse with. He just
he doesn't understand Dutch.
But the bad thing anyway is that you see a apparently very fit person eating 500 grams of carbohydrates. He has type 1 diabetes and a good A1C. So many people will fall in the trap and think that it's okay to do that like this, and he can only do it after like 1 or 2 years of training and adapting, and that's just bad. But I have another video here from a woman that is, she makes really good stuff about diabetes and very intelligent person. But when she talks about carnivore keto diet, also there, she mentioned one time that it's long ago that it's actually good for people to try it because you learn a lot, even if you try it temporarily. So sounds very reasonable, but now it's now
it's stupid.
Different. Let's have a look.
They can't follow the perfect diabetic, ketogenic, zero carb diet. But in reality, you guys, it might just be that is a really extreme way to eat for most people. And it's okay if you don't want to eat an extreme diet, and it's okay if you can't stick to an extreme diet. Instead, the harder thing to do, but the more successful long-term thing to do, is to find some kind of balance with mostly real.
Sorry, guys, I got to stop it right
now.
That's all the important stuff.
Yeah, because that's another big thing that always comes out from these experts is that eating this way is going to lead to an eating disorder. Now, you guys know my backstory. I suffered with an eating disorder for a very, very long time.
The debate about extreme diets.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Species-specific, proper human diet, an extreme diet, or is eating anything but extreme. So that right there, and you know what? We want to argue a species-specific diet. Okay, we can. But an extreme diet, in my mind, I don't eat an extreme diet. I eat a very simple, logical diet, and I do the best I can. I don't.
But we need to think about this logically. Extreme to me is when you have an eating problem, when you just cannot stop eating. You just can't stop eating.
Yeah.
Because as I said, I went through all this.
Yeah.
I was on both sides of the spectrum. I was severely under eating, and then I went from that to being obese. So I went through this cycle. I know exactly what it feels like. Trust me.
And it also doesn't factor in the fact that some people need to do extreme measures to heal.
Yeah.
Like some people need to be extreme. I'm not saying the extreme diet. I mean, our definition of that can be very.
Yeah, and she knows very well about Dr. Bernstein and the whole low carb approach that he introduced, and all the people also in communities of parents with children that are applying this. And the children are leading happy lives and normal lives with controlled blood glucose levels instead of all the sugar sugar-based diets. So,
and here's another thing, guys. I'm just gonna back it up just a little bit. Okay, let's watch what she says here, and then I'll get your takes on it.
Find some kind of balance with mostly real food.
Okay, mostly real food.
Oh yeah.
Should humans be eating anything other than real food? That's the question I have. What do you mean mostly real food? So in order 20% shit is okay. That's good. Like that's good for you. I'm not saying it doesn't bring us joy from time to time, but that's it. Mostly balanced, mostly eating real food. Like that's just that doesn't.
Yeah, and this is in line with her approach. I think that the idea that for diabetics and to some degree, I think it's good that as a type 1 diabetic, you should not restrict yourself from doing something that you like to do sometimes. And being too restricted. So if you follow a low carb diet, that's maybe perfect. But if you follow a medium carb diet of 50, 60 grams of carbohydrates, you can also manage your blood. If it's just about blood glucose levels and not other health aspects or whatever, you can also do it perfectly. I mean, I did a good job also with 100 or 150 grams of carbs in terms of blood glucose control. So you can do it. It's perfectly reasonable choice for diabetics, but
you mentioned the key word there, Pierre. Control. Yeah, you're in control of that situation. Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing. You know, it's your choice, so you know exactly what you need to do. But the next day, you know exactly what you need to do also. Yeah. So it's you have full control of that situation.
That one, control, and don't do anything that is just against totally goes against your lifestyle. Let's say if it doesn't agree with you, it's not going to work. So I mean, apart from the transition phase, of course, if you are going to try low carb and the first week you say, this is nothing for me, that makes no sense. But if it's just something that doesn't match your daily life or your life patterns, and after a few months you discover that it's not for you, then by all means go medium carb or anything. But yeah, this is really has a negative impact that she's referring to diets as extreme. Mm-hmm. I don't even do that for vegan diets, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not in a way it's not extreme. I mean, people do it. It's just not healthy. I mean, there are some clear aspects that you can explain why it's not healthy, but extreme. I would never call something extreme because you just fear away people from a nuanced discussion. First of all,
from what perspective are you calling it extreme? Right, like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be different for everybody for sure.
And here it's she knows that there are thousands of people getting benefits from Bernstein's low carb approach.
Yeah,
and by saying these type of things, you are not even giving people the opportunity to give it a try.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Should we continue, or do you have something else for us, Peter?
Well, just maybe to add one more thing, but I also engaged in the comments, and then she used words like it's well established that it's not how is it called, sustainable in the long term. So, I mean, for me, it's totally fine if you have an opinion about it, but if you're going to.
Hey, Rick, how sustainable is it, buddy?
Yeah. It's 42 years now, I think, but
it's incredible, isn't it?
But to use words like well established to suggest that there is science to back it up, back up your opinion, that's what makes me angry. So really, I couldn't care less about her opinion, and if she says that she found it an extreme diet, it would have been totally different.
Yeah, bang on, buddy. Well, let's finish her little spiel here.
And then finding room in your diet for those foods that you know you shouldn't be eating all the time, all day long, but they prevent those extreme feelings of deprivation that you get when you're on those extremely restrictive diets. So let's just stop doing all the extreme things.
all the people that have fatty livers that are almost borderline cirrhosis. Yeah, just moderate.
But yeah, this year, as an opinion, perfectly fine. If you find it important to eat sweets and a snack once in a while, and you can control it, what you said, Mark, then
come on and convince me. But you're not going to shut me down. At least you're going to hear what I have to say,
Mark.
as well.
Just chill out and be what's the next word out of her, and be easy. Or what's she going to say here? What do you think she's going to chill out and be?
Be like me.
Want to chime in on this one? Chill out and be what? What is she going to say now? Be righteous? Be healthy? We'll see. We'll see what she says.
Chill out and be real.
Oh, real. Okay.
About food.
Fair enough. Just chill out, boys, and be real about food.
Even though most of our food is fake.
Yeah, it's not even real food.
It's not even real food. It's like the hypocrisy is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And that's I quite often tell people, and I mean, even with the food guidelines, I don't have to look at the food guidelines to know eat as close to God and Mother Nature intended. The next would be whole foods and local seasonal. It's pretty fucking simple. That's it. You can maybe this isn't good for me. Maybe this isn't good for but if it was not adulterated by big food, big ag, big pharma, it's probably better. It's pretty crazy. So anything else, Peter, we got in the pipes?
In terms of videos, no, I don't think so.
What's this food pyramid thing you have down there? Which want to blast one more off before we shut her down? This one.
Programs, school lunches, and so on.
Oh, we've already seen it. Okay, sorry, buddy. That was your thing. Well, boys, what are you thinking? I think
we have one. Well, okay. Yeah, let's do it then. I think it's this one.
Okay.
Diet is what our ancestors ate and is therefore the natural human diet. So, if it turned out there were any nutritional shortcomings...
Hold on. You got to back that to
What is your top 3 supplements?
My top 3 supplements: meat, butter, eggs.
When you're on the proper human diet, you get every nutrient you need in the perfect quantities, so no supplements.
I don't take supplements either.
Yeah, I'm not much for supplements as well.
When carnivore influencers claim they don't take supplements, they frame it like it's a strength, but that's clearly just playing up to the natural is better fallacy. They often push the narrative that the carnivore diet is what our ancestors ate and is therefore the natural human diet. So, if it turned out there were any nutritional shortcomings, that would really contradict their whole ideology. Well, a recent study conducted a nutrient analysis of 4 typical carnivore diet meal plans and found they consistently fell short for key nutrients like vitamin B1 or thiamine, magnesium, potassium, calcium, vitamin C, and fiber. And some of them also fell short for iron, folate, and iodine. We already know that meat-heavy diets are linked with significantly higher risk of cardiovascular disease and certain cancers, in part because they're high in saturated fat, heme iron, and when cooked at high temperatures, carcinogenic compounds like HCAs and PAHs. But add to this the risk of nutrient deficiencies that occur when you limit intake of whole plant foods, alongside ideologies that discourage supplement use, and it only gets even more dangerous, because low intakes of many of those nutrients is linked with additional risk for chronic disease. The truth is, every dietary pattern can fall short on certain nutrients, including plant-based and regular omnivorous diets. But the fact that proponents of carnivore diets don't acknowledge these shortcomings clearly shows they're more interested in ideology than facts or evidence. And that's just plain irresponsible, especially when broadcast to millions of followers.
I have the reply for him. I sent him I sent him a message straight away after watching this video. And I said, you need to back up your claims here. Let's do a live debate on this. This is what you got back to me on, right? This is exactly, this is word for word. If I'm being honest with you, no, I'm not interested in that at all. You're going to try to debate me that no human has ever gotten sick from eating fats or eating saturated fats. And I was like, okay, name one person. Guess what happened? The guy blocked me. That was the end of the conversation. All I asked him was name one person, and that was the end of the conversation. He blocked me.
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't block me, so I actually engaged in a reasonable conversation talking about the studies in it, and somehow I'm not sure. Well, I probably didn't convince him that the studies were rubbish. but somehow he didn't reply to it. But one of the studies was a model study, and a model study means that they basically just look at a virtual carnivore diet for men and women, and they calculate the nutrients in it. So there was even a little bit of vitamin C, so probably the right nutrients, and then they compare it to reference ranges.
Yeah, well, that's
it's
right there.
Reference ranges from average
From
people.
Who are we referencing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's totally useless. And I think he agreed with it without saying it. And then, he made a good point that on all diets you can have shortcomings.
Of course.
And all the studies that he showed, that they are useless because they don't take into account the metabolic context, basically.
But and this comes back to the thing, and I don't want to hear any bullshit about modern life and all this stuff. If you close your eyes and just imagine yourself trying to survive in a situation, what would you be doing? Would you be getting out your salad board and trying to chop a salad and finding lettuce? Or would you be trying to hunt something substantial to make you feel better? And all the vegans that say, no, I would never. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll eat all plants if it's exactly what I have to do to live. I would do it without question. Would you eat meat if you had to live? Whoops. What happens? You're on your deathbed. If you don't do this, you die. Simple question. It's a no-brainer for me. Yeah, I would be eating fucking broccoli. Okay, if I was gonna die. You, based on your logic, wouldn't. That is ridiculous. And put yourself in a survival situation. Let's see how far you get. We'll see what happens. While you're waiting for your wheat to grow, I'll be looking for some birds, man. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he made one sort of good point in the video, and that's also where our discussion in the comments ended. And I gave him a heart for the comment, because I think it's a fair point to say that what the carnivore influencers did here in the video, to say that, I don't take supplements because I eat natural foods. I think that's not really a good message to put on stage.
No. I agree with that. I agree with that, Peter. It's just I don't take supplements is one thing, but why and how, telling people that they shouldn't eat it. I think everybody should be looking into nutrition is nutrition, and if there's holes for whatever reason, exactly, you may have to compensate for it, and that's to the best of your ability.
Yeah, but I mean that's one thing. It's like the people saying that since I went carnivore, I can stay in the sun for the entire day.
Yeah,
that type of bold statements, we shouldn't make those, because the other parties are going to abuse those things.
But Peter, I can.
Yeah. No, well, I tried it on the bike. I mean, if I forget sunscreen after about 5-6 hours in the full sun on a bike, or I imagine if you're sailing on a boat and or skiing, no doubt you'll use it.
Well, that's maybe a topic for another day, boys. We've done some good things today. We got into some extreme stuff. I mean, before we get going, I want to encourage everybody to go check out Selena is on with Bart K. Congratulations, Selena. The carnivore community worldwide, they're taking over. Love it. Bart's awesome. He's one of I know from you guys, we listen to Bart. He's great. And it's great for Selena to be on with him. So we'll probably jump over and check it out. Make sure you follow them on YouTube. And, all right, boys. Well, any final thoughts there, Peter, and where do people find you, and what's coming down the future for the low carb perspective?
So let's skip the final thoughts. But I mean, we talked about a lot. I'm rebranding a little bit. So on TikTok, I'll still be known also as the Dutch Carnivore when making Dutch videos, really focused on carnivore diet. But on Instagram, YouTube, and also on TikTok, I have accounts now with the name Low Carb Perspective, and I'll be focusing more on type 1 diabetes. It also has to do a bit with the fact that, for example, the discussions I was in with a guy like I talked about, if you have the word carnivore in your name, that just doesn't help to engage in a normal way. And I think also it helps to spread the message better, because people still get scared from it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Fair. So, Peter's not going to be able to say Dutch carnivore anymore.
No, I will. And of course, on those accounts, I mean, you have to be honest. I mean, I'll still have videos where I tell about the carnivore diet and that I'm eating only meat, raw meat even. But somehow, if it's in your name, that makes a big difference.
Okay.
Yeah,
for sure. Mark, my friend.
Well, as I said to you last week, Tony, I'm back now. There's going to be a lot of people getting pissed off that I'm on social media at the moment. I couldn't care less. So you're going to see an awful lot of me on social media. I actually enjoy doing the videos. There's a lot in the pipeline. We have a really, really interesting interviews coming up now on our other podcast, the Carnivore Evolution, with myself and Victoria. And plenty to come along with you guys. Also, we have an interview with Al Reeves coming up this Thursday. We're going to speak everything about training.
We're going to do that live, aren't we?
Yeah, we're doing that live on Thursday. So I'm really looking forward to that. Al's a very, very good friend of mine. So I'm really looking forward to it. He's a bodybuilder. And yeah, just basically the final word from today is that don't believe everything you see on social media. I think that's the most important thing. And what we're doing at the moment, there's a different message out there. Listen to both messages and just make up your own mind, because at the end of the day, you're the research, you're the study. At the end of the day, you just got to try this on yourself. And at the end of the day, if you go down this way, whether it's carnivore, keto, low carb, and it changes your life and you feel absolutely fantastic, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
And where do people find you, buddy?
You want to find me, I'm on social media at Fitness Beyond Time 01, on Instagram and TikTok. And if you want to reach out to me, you can send me an email at nsmark93@gmail.com.
Awesome, man. And, my final thoughts are, some things aren't what they seem. Every day we're getting bombarded with differences of opinions, one side, the other side. The best thing you can do is do your best to use discernment and try and figure out what matters to you, what feels right to you, what resonates with you. And that will be your best metric to figure it out. And, sometimes we're obviously strive for perfection, but it's not about that. It's about learning and becoming in with yourself, becoming your N of one, the experiment. And sometimes the bumps are hard. Sometimes the lumps are hard, but you'll get there. And if anybody wants to reach out to me, I'm at TonyStewartCoaching.com. Join my newsletter. If you're down, I'd love to have you there. We're going to be starting to talk about some cool things together with this podcast, and on social media, we want to start engaging a little bit more, get this word out there that, we're trying just to encourage people to take the power back. And we're doing this every Sunday live at 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. in the UK and Ireland, 7 p.m. in Netherlands and in Europe. We are not doctors. We are not scientists. We are just trying to shed some light on some, maybe some shadows and get your head through the clouds to see some sunshine. That is basically trying to empower you. Thank you for being here, everybody. We appreciate all the people in the chats. Make sure you follow Byron Funk at Carnivore Beats. He's Carnivore Beats YT. He does all our music. We love you. We our hearts and thoughts and prayers are with you, Deborah. Get better soon. We're going to help. We'll be there, whatever you need. And also the people in the chats. Thanks for joining us every Sunday. We love you guys. Our community is growing, and we're going to bring this food pyramid and all. We're coming after it. So we'll see you next Sunday live. And don't forget, we've got Al Reeves, very, very impressive keto lifestyle guy that's been doing this a long time. He's a wealth of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. And Mark and I hopefully Peter will be there. We'll talk to him live on Thursday. And also go support the carnivore community. Selena's on Bart K channels right now. Go live, go do it. And we will see you guys next Sunday.
Speak soon. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
Is sick and fucking tired of seeing all the carnivore shit all over these fucking apps.